It is Sunday late morning at Prospect Park in Brooklyn, New York. 2/3 of the stage to the right is the park that has two benches situated in front of trees in a park lawn. In the background, one can hear birds chirping. To the left, separated by a partition and darkened until later, is the Burnhaudt study. As the lights go up, we see Dr. Burnhaudt sitting on the left bench. He has a lunch bag that contains a sandwich and an apple. He is reading a book and is wearing a sign in front that is attached by strings around his neck that says, "Don't worry, I'm not meshugeneh-crazy."
No. So remember, I told Sarah Friday morning that I couldn't take it any longer. That I'd rather sit in the park all day like this, wearing this sign, so that people walking by would trust me enough to talk and not be scared crap to think that I was some pervert. So I sat down, and what happened was, as I'm reading my book, the first person that came by was and sat down next to me was this teenage boy. And he had earbuds in his ears, and he couldn't take his eyes off the video game he played. I was looking, and then I looked up at him, and he remained totally oblivious to me. Totally oblivious. Totally. Okay? Totally oblivious. And I just went back to reading. Then I looked up again at him, and I said, "You know, it's a beautiful day, isn't it?" He ignored me. "That must be a very interesting online newspaper article you're reading there. A lot of action, I gather." He continued to ignore me. See, mister, I understand that using your hands constantly that way is going to make orthopedic surgeons very happy in the future." No, couldn't helfen. He ignored me. Do you find that playing video games helps reduce arthritic inflammation? King. Again, yes. Ignored. Finally, I couldn't take it. I said to him, "Hey, buddy, don't look now, but here comes a police officer. I think he's going to write you a $25 ticket for boredom and isolation." Then the boy miraculously got up and skated away on his skateboard. I watched him leave. Then I went back to reading. Soon, a 20-something woman wearing a gym outfit and sneakers came by and sat down next to me. She looked straight ahead, and she didn't even say hello. Instead, she looked around at the natural surroundings, then at the sky, then she slowly closed her eyes to meditate. No, so I went back to reading of my book. Then I looked up at her, and I said, "No, it's a beautiful day, isn't it?" I must have startled her. She opened her eyes and looked at me. "What's your name?" She didn't want to tell me. I looked at the woman, then at my sign, then I smiled. I said, "Oh, I understand. At least you're brave enough to sit down next to me with the sign. A police officer asked me earlier who I am and what the hell my sign meant. I had to show him my license and tell him. Otherwise, he was going to arrest me. You know, one never knows these days. Look, I see that you're practicing mindfulness meditation." She said that she could really understand why people meditated more these days. All of a sudden, she became quite sad. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "I guess so." Then told me how many friends she knew meditated to escape from their pain. Some drank to no end or got hooked on street drugs. Some had died. Listen to this. She told me that she had 3 friends die on her from ODing this past winter. Nicht gelacht, nicht schön. I felt sorry for her losses. You know, it is so sad when one's friends turn to alcohol, drugs, when their pain, and emotional pain, becomes intolerable. That's when she really began to cry. I became a little concerned. I looked around to see if anyone else was coming by. She was sobbing there in front of me. I said to her, "Do you have anyone to talk to about all this? Some professional?" She seemed startled by my question and asked if I was some shrink. I said, "Well, I happen to be a big macha psychiatrist, but I don't usually work on Sundays." She didn't believe me, and she asked if I was really a shrink or was I some psycho. I said, "Yeah, I'm a shrink. That's why I wear a sign." She reassured me that she had friends to talk to, then said that she had to go. She said that she didn't have time to rest. She'd be late for her spinning class. Go figure. No more time to rest? Yeah, okay, sure. You'd better hurry up. I waved goodbye to her. No more time to rest. I shook my head in disbelief. No more time to rest. So, what else to do? I went back to reading my book. That's when my cell phone rang. Hello? Oh, hello, Samantha. Why, this is my nurse, Samantha, remember her? Why are you calling me on a Sunday morning? What? Oh, my God, when this happened? Last night. How did he do it? With the cell phone charging cord, just like he tried the other day? I see. Where were the staff? Mama kiss my takas. Damn it, Corey got some lesser trained staff to replace the ones he let go, that mamze bastard. Were Jake's parents notified? Good. How are you doing, sweetheart, Samantha? No, it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. You didn't know his wife wanted him out of the house. She must have called the hospital and informed him yesterday. Okay, Samantha, thanks for informing me. Goodbye. I remained shocked. I placed my hands over my mouth. Oh, Jake committed suicide. God, Hashem, I feel so damn guilty. I could have discharged him home. I lowered my head, and would you know, I fell asleep. Who wouldn't after hearing that kind of news? After a brief pause, I looked up, and I saw an image of Jake Fisher, of all people. Jake Fisher? Please, setz down, please, Jake. I seem to be having a lot of stress lately. You're a wonderful boy and teenager, Jake. You and Daniel enjoyed life. It's not easy being young these days. I have a lot on my plate, Jake. How did you get here? Again, yes, I decided not to discharge you Friday afternoon before I left the hospital. I thought you'd be better off staying there than being home with your family. No, I couldn't discharge you, Jake. You know, Jake, you were like another son to me growing up. You and Daniel would always be... Wait a minute, Jake. I thought you, Oh. So your wife called yesterday and told you that she wanted a divorce? It was over between you and her? And you couldn't handle it anymore? I don't think I can either right now. Thanks for your concern, Jake. You know what I'm going through. I'm about to be laid off from my full-time position. No, what's that? You want to help me? Oh, thanks, Jake, for telling me that I'm a good man with a good soul. I've helped people my entire life, Jake. I just don't know what the hell I'm going to do now. Thanks, Jake. I'll continue to help others who have pain, but there are plenty of people in pain out there, you know. Yes, I don't have to be a full-time psychiatrist at a hospital to do this. They're not in just physical pain. There are a lot of unhappy people out there, Jake. Many can't cope or be resilient. I just have to keep on doing what I do best. Keep on just caring for us. I appreciate that, Jake. I will, like I'm doing here. Jake looked at my sign and he giggled, and he said that he had to go. I said bye, shalom, Jake. I waved goodbye, then I bent over and I fell back asleep. Then I looked up. It was an elderly man, a rabbi. He wore a black hat, white-rimmed glasses, a yarmulke or prayer cap, and a tallis, a fringed scarf tucked inside his black coat. Listen to this. He was wearing a sign that read, "Trust me, I'm not a sex abuser." Oi, Gunnish Telfin. He walked close to me, then he stopped. We made eye contact. Then we looked at our respective signs. No, what's with your sign? What? Probably the same thing as mine? It's nearly impossible these days for people to trust others. Even when sitting in a beautiful park like this, one on such a nice day. He told me that was true. Last week, he wore a sign that said, "Trust me, I'm a rabbi." What do you know? Not one taker sat next to him except a squirrel. The rabbi, the whole ganze afternoon, he was reading Psalms to the squirrel. So, you're a rabbi? What? You're a legitimate sex abuser dressed in rabbinical clothing? Come on. No, I won't tell your wife or anyone in your neighborhood. Don't worry about it. Oh, you're only kidding. It's funny. It's not funny. It's very serious, you know. What? What's going on with me? That I'm spending such a beautiful Sunday sitting here on the park bench waiting for non-psychos to hang out with me? Shtil. You don't want to know about it. I wouldn't know where to begin. How can you tell what I've been through? How is that possible? Yes, I believe in things being beshet, karma, meant to be. No, I won't be surprised by what you're about to share with me. Oy. So, you were at the same point I am at now? Exactly 18 years ago? Imagine that. 18 years. The number 18, Chai, meaning life. Boy, oh boy, you should know about our son Daniel. He's a struggling rabbi in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. And he'd love to hear this one. I wish he was sitting here with me. He's got a serious compulsion with that number, you know. That's when the rabbi told me something very important. And he said, that when he had learned to cherish, when he learned 67 years old. Like me, that's when he had to leave his full-time position as the chief rabbi for the local synagogue down the street. How do you know I'm 67? Never mind, huh? Okay, I'm all ears. First, he told me that I must continue to connect, not on the internet or by cell phone, but just like I was doing here with him. And, in this pandemic, he said, it's not social distancing, it's physical distancing. It's important to socially connect. He said to meet people on a park bench, or at some restaurant, or at the home of a family member, even if you wear masks, or friends. He said that the world is becoming too isolating for most people. Loneliness is just as much a threat to one's life as are alcohol and drugs. And he said that I should simplify my life, reduce the multitasking and the amount of information I consumed each moment of my life. I wasn't made for this kind of mishigas. He told me to slow down. Patience is a virtue. He said our society is so future-oriented and fast-paced that we don't spend enough time praying or meditating. I could appreciate the world by using my senses and by being in the present as much as I do in the future and past. Next, he said that I should balance my life so that I spend as much time paying attention to my loves and desires as to my shoulds and have-tos. This rabbi said that I should focus more on my creative endeavors and my varied interests, and simply making my career define my soul identity. He recommended that I adhere to a mission in my life, like Viktor Frankl experienced while being in the concentration camps and writing in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. The primary motivation for human existence is to find meaning and purpose in one's life, not just to focus on making money, guilt, striving for perfection, or accumulating material possessions. I already had one purpose. Jake told me that. Just continue to help people in emotional pain, physical pain. The rabbi encouraged me to be grateful for waking up each morning knowing that I was alive, and he said to cherish what I had, not what I didn't have. Finally, he let me know that there was no greater passion than my absolute love and devotion to Hashem, God, for granting me this life, to love with all my heart, with all my soul, and with all my might. The rabbi affirmed that I am not the pilot in my life journey, but I could be the navigator who can empower the pilot to help me get through all these difficult turbulence and challenges that I may encounter along the way. That was quite profound. 7 sparks of life, one for each day, no? By the way, what is your name? Meir? Oh, thank you so much, Meir, for stopping by. Of course, yes, Chaim, how do you know my name? Never mind. All right. Never mind. Okay. Well, then Meir got up, and you know what he did? He left dancing, singing the song, "Chock full of nuts is that heavenly coffee, heavenly coffee, heavenly coffee." No, he gave it back. Oh, he gave up. I lowered my head, and guess what? I gained Schlofen once again. Then, it was late afternoon. And you know what happened? You know what happened? Let's see. What happened was, all of a sudden, I said, oh, what? What the heck? I looked up, and there was Sarah. Where have I been? What? You were worried about me? Sarah, I must have been here all day. What's that? Samantha called you earlier and told you about Jake Fisher? Yes, Samantha, I guess it's true. What? You already spoke to his parents? They're in shock. So am I, Sarah. I could have discharged him. Sarah, do you think Jake's parents will forgive me? I hope so. What's this? You purchased 2 round-trip airline tickets to Minneapolis, St. Paul? I thought Daniel said he doesn't want us to come out there. You think it's best if we did? You booked a flight for early tomorrow morning, Monday? Okay. So I slowly got up while holding onto Sarah's arm, and we started walking home. Yes, sure. Absolutely. We must go help Daniel with his emotional pain. Sure, Sarah. Let's go home. So now, come with me to our study. As I got to the study, Sarah went away and she went upstairs. So now, I'm home. What a day this has been. What a weekend. What a journey. What a life. Sarah's sleeping, she's sloughing, and here I am talking to you about everything I experienced since Friday morning. So what if I dreamt that Jake and Meir appeared to me in the park? Their perspectives have given me hope. Something big has to change in my life. I can't go on like this, being angry, insensitive, cynical, depressed, in pain. I'm just simply tired of being tired. Rabbi Meir shared with me 7 beautiful sparks of light. Perhaps these same sparks can change your lives as well as mine.
That's about a rabbi who sings and dances to keep the devil at bay. So that's what singing and dancing is for, to keep the devil away. Hey.